So if you wake up one morning and there's not a lot of water pressure, before you freak out and say, oh my goodness, it's the well pump, first you want to verify that it's not your pressure regulator. This is the device that controls the water pressure in your house. In this video, I'm going to go through the basics on how the system works. The last thing you want to do is go through a few $1,000 fix when it's just a $20 part. The well pump is probably about 150 feet deep. The electric wires go to this regulator right here. This regulator senses the pressure and turns on and off the pump. Then it fills up this big pressurized reservoir right here. This has a pressurized bladder so it can hold pressure as it goes throughout your house. Then when you turn on your sink, you've got pressurized water. So how does this pressure regulator work? Very close to the pressure regulator is a pressure gauge. When the pressure in the house gets too low, the pressure regulator turns on the well pump. Now typically, when the water pressure reaches 30 psi, it turns on the well pump. And when the pressure reaches 50 psi, it turns off the well pump. So there's typically about 20 psi between turning on and turning off. So the wires from the well pump go to this regulator. Then from the regulator, it goes to the fuse box. Typically, the well pump runs on 220 volts. It's usually 20 amps, so it's a 12 gauge wire. Now there's mechanical springs that turn on and off the electricity. So the springs make contact between this and this. This allows power to turn the pump on, and then when it reaches its pressure, it turns it off. Now these two springs can be adjusted. Now this big silver spring allows you to turn the on and off pressure up and down. If you have lower pressure needs, you could set it to kick on at 30 pounds and kick off at 50, or kick on at 40 and come off at 60. So there's roughly 20 pounds in between turn on and turn off. Now what about this little black spring over here? This controls the differential, or that 20-pound difference, if you wanted it more or less than 20 pounds. Some houses require more pressure. If you've got 2 or 3 stories, you may need to bring up the pressure, but you don't want to bring it up too high, or the seals in your faucets might start to go. 50 psi is typical, so I wouldn't take it up to 80 psi just so you can have a power shower. You'll start replacing all your O-rings all through your house. Now if the well pump turns on at 30 psi, you would set your tank pressure a couple pounds lower. You might use a bicycle pump and fill it up to about 28 pounds. So if you do wake up and there's low water pressure, now you understand a little bit more on how that water system works. Now remember, 220 volts is nothing to play with. So if you're not comfortable, call somebody. But that low pressure could be these contacts right here. So by cleaning up the contacts or putting in a new regulator, this might get you your water pressure back. Well, I really appreciate your time, and thanks for watching.